When the bandits and Boko Haram insurgents are working in the forest with sophisticated weapons, Nigerians and Nigeria are thinking, asking questions. Where and how did they get supply of all these weapons? Some say are from the police. Some accuse the Nigerian military. But of recent, some serious answer have come out from where have shocked a lot of people. But with this, a full interview with one of the notorious bandits leader, Fulani, X-Men leader from the Zamfara axis, also confirmed that they are sponsored. But I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. Listen, let's take a listen. We'll come back. At the comment section, I have a robust discussion. Thank you.
To kai ka sani ko daga nan za mu dauko ka mu kawo ka?
Ni wallahi na san inda nake abada ba ku iya zuwa dukan.
Wai shin muna son mu tambaye ka. Ko kun san cewa ta'addancin nan da kuke yi yana nema in gizo yakin da aka irin na ruwan da hutu da tutsi? Za a yi yaki tsakanin wasu kabilu a hada gaba daya yaki yan uwan ku Fulani cikin gari da daji saboda ta'addancin da kuke yi.
Ayo mu ai duk hilanin kirki yanzu waɗanda sun kasan yadda ake ciki a sun dawo daji waɗanda ke cikin gari ya dama sun zama na ku mun yahe maku.
Daman ba ma son ku.
Ya guri an mai kyau.
Ba ku so.
Yanzu barin tambaye ka dan ta'adda menene abin da kuke yi yanzu a daji?
Muna kare kanmu.
Kare kanku shin ba hukuma ne da za ta kare ku sai kun kare kanku da kanku?
To ai mu ma hukuma ai dama mu din hukuma ne ko baka ga alama ba.
Ya kai ka zama hukuma harantacciyar hukuma koko ta hilani ne hukuma?
Harantacciyar hukuma waɗansu da cikin hukuma suna ba mu kayan aiki muna yin abin da ya kamata kuma ana ba mu kuɗi to kaga ai mu ma hukuma ne.
Ma'ana kenan wasu daga cikin hukumomi suna ba ku kuɗi kun suna ba ku bindigogi kenan da bullet.
Wannan ba wai bane to ku ko a sashin da ake harba ba ku tunanin da yanzu bai kare ba.
To waye ke ba ku wannan harsashi da bindiga saboda Allah?
Yo wannan ai sirri ne kuma ai ba zan gaya ma shi ba kai ka sani.
To amma zan tambaye ka kai musulmi ne ko kafirin Allah?
Musulmi ne kuma kullum sai na sallah sau 5.
To ya Allah ya ce wala taqatilun nafsal lati harama Allah illa bil haqq. Kada ku sake ku kashe wata rai sai da haƙƙi. Ku kuke kashewa me mutane suke mun ku kuke kashe su. Haka kawai.
Mu waɗanda aka kashe mana mu ba jini gare su ba.
To ba ku neman wanda saka muku laifi ku rama kan sai wanda ba san sauka ba.
Yo to ai in ba mu rama kan mutum ba in ba mu ganshi ba ai muna rama kan yan uwan shi ma in yaji an kashe dangin shi ai ba daɗi zai ji ba ko.
Yanzu bari tambaye ka. Ko kana ji na? Investment Call Nigeria Limited zan dauko ka nama. Dan ta'adda kana ji na? Ka rika like ba ka da network dan ta'adda kana ji na dan ta'adda? Ban sani ba ko tinka gina akwai tambayan da zai mishi. Na'am kana ji na dan ta'adda?
In Allah ya yarda.
Wai shin saboda Allah yanzu ba za ku aje makamai ku da cikin mutane a zauna lafiya da kuma kamar da aka yi a jihar Kaduna birnin Gwari? Allah ku rika mana da like network din ne. Kai dan ta'adda. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Wai mutum ya bayanin nasi kana ji na?
Ina jin ka yanzu.
Menene yasa ba za ku aje makamai ba ku ji tsoron Allah ku da cikin al'umma ku zauna lafiya a cikin da harkoki kamar da ake.
To muna jin tsoron Allah tunda haka ga muna sallah muna salati ai ka san muna jin tsoron Allah.
Alhamdulillah.
Wai nan kuwa kun dauke mu kafirai ko?
A kahurin Allah kake tunda dai kana kashe mutane bai gaira haƙƙin.
A'a, ni ban kashe mutane wanda bai ji bai gane ba, hai wanda ya ji ya gane.
To misali yanzu ku a wani jiha kuke, Zamfara ko Kebbi ko Sokoto ko Benue?
Ni ina jihar Katsina, amma dai jihar Zamfara nan ne matattara mu.
Domin Allah, mai mutanen shinkafa suka mu kuka afka musu kuka ta kashe ranar kasuwa.
Yo to mu ma yan uwan mu ake kashewa haka nan.
Ke yasa kuke zuwa ku samu mata ku kashe ku musu fyaɗe da yara ku duk ku kashe?
Yo to ai yadda yan uwansu za su ji haushi ko ku yanzu da kuka ji ba gashi kun ji haushi ba?
Da Allah Yakubu da Allah ka tambaye shi wai su wa yan uwan nasu da ake kashe musu dan Allah.
To ka ji ka bada ansa wasu yan uwan ku ake kashewa.
Filanin mu da ake kashewa kuma yanzu kuna nuna mana rashin kauna.
Ya fara kashe wani.
Da Allah bari yi magana nan Yakubu kana ji ko su fa Fulanin da suke kare.
Kun ji magana ta ko?
Ba fa Fulani suke kare bari in ga muku gaskiya. Wa'annan su suke jawo ana zagin mu. Ba fa Fulani.
Fatima bari mu ji mana ya hakuri mana Fatima.
Su yanzu misali idan zaka zo Fulani ka kashe 1000 a cikin gari ba za su taba jin haushi ba amma in ka ga barawa ɗaya yayi sata ka kashe shi wai shine kai laifi.
Ai na ce ma mu ba hilanin gari mun ban maku waɗannan ha. Mu hilanin mu waɗanda muke tare da su muke jimawa.
Kai ba za ka mika makamai kai tuwo ba kafin hukuma ta kashe ka ta sama ba?
Yau ni hukuma ai wanda take yakin ta sama wasu sun san da mu wasu muna yi da su wasu ne ba mu yi da su.
Na wato hukuma kuna tare da ita.
In Allah da amma magana wa ce gwamnati gaba ɗayanta ta ba mu kungila ta wannan magana ce muna dai yi da ma'aikatanta je waɗanda suke su ne ma'aikatanta amma magana ce wai gwamnati ta ba mu kungila wannan magana ce kawai.
Yanzu misali yanzu mu a matsayin mu na 'yan Najeriya talakawa in muka kira gare ku zo a aje makamai a yi sulhu a zauna lafiya shin ba ku yi?
To gashi mun yi a jihar Kaduna baka ga yanzu an zanna lahi hanyar birnin Gwari ana binta?
Yanzu mu talakawa an muka zo muka ce za muna son zaman lafiyar nan mu tura a gwamnati mu ce mu abin da muke so shine a yi zaman lafiya dole a zo a yi sasanci za ku aje makamai ku mika a gwamnati makamai?
Wannan za mu aje makamai amma dai farar da garaje ba za mu ɗauki makaman mu ba gwamnati ba saboda in an watara abu yana iya haɗo mu kuma a dawo a yaƙe mu in an tabbatar ba mu da makaman nan amma za mu tsaya in mun ka tabbatar abu ya zanna lahiya to za mu ba da makamai in Allah ya yarda.
Yanzu misali yanzu idan na jagoranta na je na samu gwamnati na ce a zo a yi zama da ku a nan jihar Katsina ku kawo makaman ku gaba ɗaya ku miƙa sannan a sa kan sai a zo a haɗa Hausawa da Fulani da duk wani kabilar da ke jihar Katsina da jihar Zamfara a yi kamun gambiza na 'yan sa kai ba za ku amince a zauna lafiya ba a yaƙi na dajin.
Za mu amince amma gwamnan Katsina ashe ba zai gyara da mu ba wai mun mika makamai an she mashi mun matsu ne.
Kai baka tsoron Allah.
Muna tsoron Allah.
To baka yi bari dan Allah kai. Inda wanda ake kashe
bayan Allah ne. Ba zai aje makamai yanzu misali tun da shi ba zai yi gyara ba da bai yi gyaran ba ya hana mu mun yi wani abu a jihan shi ko ya hana mu ɗauko mutane mu shi kuɗin su.
To yanzu mu dai abin da muke so da kai kana ji ko mu 'yan arewa ne mu mutane ne masu kishin arewa mutane ne wanda in dai aka ce ma kai kabila ce ta arewa to muna son a gane ko kuma abin da kuke yi shine kuna ta zubar da jinin mutane zaman lafiya ya haƙuri zaman lafiya ya haƙuri mu duk wani wanda za a kashe a arewa kaga an baka manta ba ayin yan sas lokacin da yan sas suke zuwa suke kama Fulani a musu wulakanci a musu wannan mu muka zo muka yi zanga-zanga muka ce sai an
On top of, and is in addition to the weekly to every 10-day shipments in cash of $40 to $80 million. Afghanistan is ruled by folks named Sarayuddin Haqqani. The Haqqani network mean anything to anybody in the room? How about Abdullah bin Laden? Who gets some of that money? Does that name ring a bell to anybody in the room? Because your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS Khorasan, terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding. If you think that the program under Operation Enduring Sentinel entitled Women's Scholarship Endowment, which receives $60 million annually, or the Young Women Lead, which gets about $5 million annually, is going to women who, by the way, if you read the Inspector General's report, is telling you that the Taliban does not allow women to speak in public. Yet somehow you're believing, and American people are supposed to believe, that this money is going for the betterment of the women in Afghanistan. It is not. You are funding terrorism, and it's coming through USAID. And it's not just Afghanistan.
On the BHT, on the ideologies, let me see.
There was the issue of the NGOs. Yes.
NGOs, you know, there are so many things. If we want to go into NGO issues, there are so many things I had. Initially, when the NGOs came in, when we started, they didn't want any oversight function. They didn't want us to know where they were going to. We had issues with that because now they will go into the enclave of the terrorists and go and treat them. You are treating the same people that is attacking the communities. You tell them, no, that you are neutral. How neutral can you be? We've had situations where allegations of arms, them conveying arms to us just to make sure that the war continues. We've had situations where they will tell you they are taking food to communities. Halfway, to tell you the trailer has broken down. By next morning, the trailer is empty. And that vehicle that is broken down, the driver will just go and drive it and take it back. So what had happened? You have funded those guys. You are taking care of them equally. We've had several situations like that. So we said, no, it can't continue like that. And that's why we insisted with the state government that, look, the state government must know what's going on. So if any NGO comes, it must be registered. We must monitor what's going on. We've had situations where NGOs will come in with unidentified individuals entering communities. You don't even know what they're doing. They don't have NGO ID cards. They are not part of the government. Who is taking them to? What are they going there for? And so by the time we start monitoring what they were doing, we noticed things started getting better. So which means something is going on somewhere. Because they come from all over the world and you don't know who is who. So that's why for every country, please regulate what the NGOs are doing, monitor what they're doing. Most times you hear them telling you that they spent $10 million, and then you wonder where. Most times the money is spent on themselves, on their luxuries. The hotels they stay, the vehicles they are using, and all those things. The locals don't benefit much from them. And yet this thing keeps on. I've told you, somebody will come and pay for a house for 10 years ahead. So what is he trying to tell you? This thing will never end until after 10 years, or maybe he will renew it. And again, I always remember that if there is peace and the threat level is low, one, they are going to retrench them. Two, their hazard allowance will reduce. How many of them will want that? We're not saying all of them are bad. No, some are really doing very well. Some are extremely doing very well. But again, please don't just assume they are just monitor what's going on, monitor what's being spent. I think it's important. I think we've dealt with the issue.
There's the last one of extermination of the...
when is it going to end? Maybe I should ask you, when is criminality going to end? It's something that we have to live. No, the truth about it is just something that's the new world order. And it's everywhere. In America, how many killings are going on? It's all acts of terrorism. It's going to be in every country. It is your ability to mitigate, to deal with it in such a way that it does not affect the normal lives of the people. But acts of criminality will continue. That is for sure. Countries that have not had it, please don't allow it to start. Whatever it takes, once they start, please nip it immediately in the bud. It's very important. And what does it take? Monitoring. Monitoring is good. Law enforcement, legal system. These are areas that we are having a lot of challenges. Most times you even arrest these people, there is no legal law to deal with them. You are left with the people to deal with. It's a big issue. And because they know that, they too leverage on those aspects. So I think that's why it's important. Like we said, it's a whole of society approach to addressing asymmetric warfare. Thank you. Thank you. They don't speak your language. You brought them across from international borders. You give them refuge. They stayed with you. They had a sharing formula for them to be with you. And then suddenly you stop giving them what they wanted. The tendency is next, they want to start asking by force. That was exactly what happened with the Lakrawas. They are from Niger. They don't even speak Nigerian language. They are not Nigerians at all. But the locals felt comfortable with them, thinking that they are one of the same. Maybe my religion, come here and help me. In case I'm going to be attacked, you can protect me. Then I'll be giving you this amount of money or giving you this support and all these things. And in fact, some of them, if you talk to them, the communities now, they tell you, no, they are very friendly. Because what they do is that they try to show you they're better opponents to the government. They bring out money, pay you money, give you food, give you this. Say, no, I'm with you, I'm here to protect you. Better than your government. But you know, it doesn't last. The romance doesn't last. After a while, they will show their true colors, and that's exactly what they did. Initially, again, when they came, they said they didn't have anything to do with Nigeria, that their problem was with Niger. So they were comfortable. And since their problem was with Niger, the locals felt comfortable with them. And when you come to ask them and say, no, there's nobody, we're all friends, they're all, because we share a very common border, like I said, with Niger, about 1,600 kilometers. Some houses, you see the sitting room is in Nigeria, the bedroom is in Niger. That is how close. We share common culture, tradition, religion together. So it makes it difficult even separating them. So even when you come as a visitor and you want to find out, they tell you, no, we're together, there's no problem. Until they started taxing them and they started killing them. That's when they now cried out. So efforts are being made now. Operations are ongoing to clear them up completely from the sovereign. And we're working together with Niger. Because normally, like I said, they don't respect any border. You come here, they move to the next country, and then when you leave, they come back. Now, we have 20 kilometers right of pursuit. The Nigerians are working together with us, so we're addressing it gradually. But like I said, it's a difficult operation because the only way you identify them is if you see them armed, or else they're just like any other person. So if the villagers tell you they are our friends or they are our relations, what do you do? That's the difficulty in asymmetric warfare. But we're working on it, and then the intelligence agencies are equally down there following up the issue. On the issue of the IDPs and probably refugees, yes, psychological operations have been, we have psychologists. In the military we have, like everything, every space of life you have in the civil, we have in the military. It's just like in the civil, it's probably more, but in the military, small but very, very efficient. So even for our troops, because of post-traumatic stress disorder, we have for our troops, when they are before they go, we brief them. When they are leaving the theater, we also take them back and give them some psychological, because we don't want them to go back with that mindset back to the community. Sometimes they go back with a lot of rage because of what they've seen, what they've gone through. So we do that. Likewise, part of the de-radicalization program we're doing is we have the psychologists to also take part, apart from the religious leaders, because it's a holistic thing, and we know the importance of mental health issues again, and so those are the things that have been addressed quite very well. And the issue of the ratios of non-kinetics, well, the ratio, maybe you look at it from the level that at least now the rates of attacks have gone down. Communities are now resuming back to their communities, and not forcefully, like with the question from the IGP. Not at all. The communities, in fact, most communities are eager to return back to their villages. So one thing is that we must give the clear, working together with the government until we are sure that there is, because normally before they go back, we go back there with the government officials to ensure that infrastructure, at least to some level, is restored. There is water, some semblance of life before they are. And then we also, because of the use of IEDs, One of the greatest challenges we are having in the terror is the use of IED. So they are scattered all over. And probably some ammunitions too that were there that were not exploded. So we'll make sure that we go around, clear all these areas, make sure that it's safe, and then with their own consent, they are transported back to these communities. There is no community in the world that is 100% free. So if we say we're looking for an ideal situation where it is no community is 100% free, but we make sure that at least to that extent that they are able to go back. And we've returned, Baga is fully back, Gudumbali is back, Kukawa is back. So we are taking them in gradually, step by step, and we feel that's the best thing to do. Because again, leaving them in IDP camps, you are creating another problem. Now you're having a lot of rape cases, a lot of stealing, a lot of killings, all within the camps because they're so crowded. So easing them out gradually and taking them back to their communities has made it a lot easier. But again, with their consent, nobody's been forced into doing it. And then for the refugees, we're also working with, we have some of them in Niger, some in Cameroon, some in Chad. We're also working with them to bring them back gradually. And so I think the work is going on, and we will continue to do that. We believe the non-kinetic has a major role in what we're doing. The military, like I said, can only do so much. The government must be there to be held to account.
Have to answer. You see, since they have the idea of this firepower, bandits use AK-47. Well, the law of the land did not allow somebody that is not trained as a military or as a police officer to hold AK-47. And this is a community-driven crisis that can be addressed substantially by the members of the communities. In as much as the communities are trained and they know the enclaves of the bandit, and they don't have the power because they can only use pump action that ranges only 100 meters. Well, bandits are having AK-47 that has a range of about 400 meters. They will continue to deal with people even if people want to fight and protect their communities. What government is doing to address that problem, considering the fact that in the Boko Haram, hunters were given AK-47, and that's what honestly helped in addressing the problem of Boko Haram. So what is government doing now to make people to have access to that more advanced and more sophisticated